Nacino.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for coming to my first ever concert. Today, I'd like to encourage you and tell you that if you can write a sentence, then you can write a book. When I was in grade 5, I fell in love with our class valedictorian. And my feelings for him were so intense. It was my top secret. I didn't want anyone to know about it. I only told one person, my mama. And my feelings for him were so intense, I felt like my heart would burst. And so I wrote a poem for my crush. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the first and last ever poem I've ever written. In school, I loved math. Why math? It's because when you know the formula and you practice a bit, you're off to go. I didn't like to write, I didn't like to read. As you can see, back when I was a student, I was quite lazy to study. So I loved math. And in fact, when I was in college in University of the Philippines, Diliman, my original course was public administration. But there were so many readings and writings that we needed to do. And after 1 year of pure torture, I shifted to business economics because I figured maybe business economics has more math and less reading or writing. I was not a writer, and I was never a writer. My journey as an author was more of a serendipity. I didn't wake up one day and tell myself, someday I'd like to write a book. It didn't happen that way. So what happened was, this is the spotlight. So what happened was, in my first year as an employee, I got buried in credit card debts. And at that time, I was sick and tired of my job. I wanted to quit, but I couldn't because number one, I had no money. I was buried in debts. And number two, I asked myself, if I will resign, what will I do? Where will I go? I didn't know the answer. And so that was the first time that I started to invest in my education. That was the first time that I started to be interested in reading books. I read one book, and that one book changed my life. And it led me to read another book, and another, and another. In short, after 3 years, I was able to zero out my debts. And I wanted to share the message on financial literacy to as many people as possible. But no one wanted to listen to me. In one of the seminars that I attended, the idea of writing a book came to mind. It was a whole day seminar. The speaker said, if you want to spread a message and make some money, you write a book, you record an album, and blah, 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 blah. All I was hearing was, Sha, write a book, write a book, write a book. And I felt so uncomfortable. I had so many hesitations for writing a book. I was not a writer. I didn't know anyone from the publishing industry. No one knew me. I felt I was too young to write a book. I had so many hesitations. So I tried to discard the idea for a couple of months. But then I would wake up in the middle of the night and I would hear a voice telling me, Sha, write a book. Finally, I decided to heed the call. So I went to a local bookstore in the Philippines. I zoomed in on one author who is a best-selling author. And can you guess his name? 𝘏𝘏 Sanchez. I bought all his books, and I read his books not just once, not just twice, but 3 times. And I dissected his book. How was the title? How thick was the book? How was the sentence construction? So I wrote my first book using a trial and error method. And finally, after 3 years, I was able to write and publish my first book. It took me 3 years to write and publish my first book. A while ago, you listened to some of the authors, the graduates of the 90-Day Book Writing Challenge. They were able to write their books in 90 days. And I figured, even if writing is on the creative side, there has to be a formula for writing a book, just like math, right? So I developed a formula for writing a book, and I tested it in my second book. And I was able to write my second book, which was an ebook, in just 1 day, just following the formula. And I was able to publish that same ebook in 3 weeks. So 3 weeks versus 3 years. And the difference was there was now a formula. I tested some more. I was still working for a bank then. And I was able to write 4 more ebooks in 6 months while working full-time for a bank. And then I discovered writing a book is actually simple. Can I see a raise of hands? Who among you here can send a text message that can be understood by another person? Can I see a raise of hands? All right. Who among you here have ever posted something on Facebook that merited a like or a comment? If you can write a text message that can be understood by another person, if you can post something on Facebook that can be understood by another person, then you can write a book. If you can write a sentence, you can write a book. And let me prove it to you. Sentences make up a paragraph. Paragraphs make up a chapter, and chapters make up a book. Simple, right? So it's just a matter of how do you put the sentences together in order to come up with a book. And that's where the formula comes in. And about the same time, I would receive requests from people asking me, Sha, can you teach me how to write a book? And during that time, I was so introverted. People would ask me, Sha, can we have coffee? Can you teach me how to write a book? Can I have dinner with you? And my concern then, the introvert in me, was saying, what if I get bored? What if he gets bored in the conversation? No, I don't want that risk because I was so introverted at that time. And so I decided to develop an online course on book writing so that I don't have to face you face to face, right? You can learn from me through computer, through the internet. We launched the 90-day book write challenge through the help of my mentor, Brother Bo Sanchez. We launched it on January 2015. And my very bold claim is this: I can teach you how you can write a book in 90 days, even if you're not a writer, and even if you're busy in your job or business. So we launched it in January 2015, and what's unique about this is that at the end of the challenge, there is a book launch. So June 2015, we had the first ever book launch, and then June 2015, and then June 2016, we had the book launch 2.0. September 2016, we had the book launch 3.0. And then another book launch in 2017. And then in 2018, there were about 35 authors who wanted to launch their books. These are graduates of the 90-day book writing challenge. And I figured they can't fit anymore in the usual event that we do. Because the usual book launches that we do are about 100 to 150 people. So they won't fit anymore. And so, in November 2017, together with my team at Wright University, we launched the first ever Global Authors Summit. So over 350 people attended the book launch. And this year as well, because more and more authors wanted to launch their books, just this year, June 2019, we had another book launch. So all in all, we've had over maybe about 100 authors, first-time authors, write and publish their books. And some of the graduates of the 90-day book writing challenge are here, and I'd like to honor them. Can you please stand up and wave to the audience? Look at the faces of these authors. Please look at the faces of these authors. If they can do it, then you can do it as well. Thank you. And I'm just very proud of these authors. You know, when I wrote my first book, and every time I would launch my own book, I would get so excited. But I got a different kind of excitement every time a student of the online course launches his or her book. It's a different kind of feeling. I feel like, wow, there are now so many of us. I'm just so happy because one book can change one person's life. And now it's not just me who will write the book. Hundreds have done it. And maybe some of you will do it as well. The speaker a while ago, prior to Sanjita, was Albert. And Albert was there at the Global Authors Summit last year. And that's when the dream of writing a book came about. And today, at the second Global Authors Summit, he was able to speak and share his book with you. Can we give a hand to Albert? And now we're having the Global Authors Summit Year 2, and the Philippines is very proud again to host this year's event. Who knows? The Global Authors Summit next year might be in a different city or in a different country. Depends where I'll get married, right? Where I'll settle down, maybe in the US and in Canada or wherever. So we're very happy that at least for the 2 years, the Global Authors Summit is here in the Philippines. You don't need to be a writer in order to write a book. Neither do you write a book because you are a writer. A lot of people are asking me, Sha, how can I write a book? I'm not a writer. You don't need to be a writer. In fact, what you need to be is to be a messenger. You write a book, you are the messenger, and you are the message at the same time. So you don't just write a book, but you live what you write. You walk the talk, or you talk the walk rather. This is the reason that I would tell the students of the 90-day book writing challenge, this is one of the reasons to write a book. You write because you care, and you have a message to share. It's not about money, it's not about prestige, it's not about fame. Because money, prestige, and fame are consequences of you writing a book. But the cause of you writing a book should be something deeper. And that could be because you care so much, and there's a message that you would like to share, and you felt like your heart would burst, you need to release it. So why not release it using a book? Because when you write a book once, and it's like you talking to hundreds or thousands of people, one at a time. You can talk to them even while you're sleeping. And it's a legacy that you can leave with them. Don't let the message stay with you and die with you. Share it to the world. If you believe you can write a book, then you can write a book. Can you just tap the person beside you and tell that person, if you believe you can write a book, then you can write a book. Belief is so important. Belief is so important because it's deeply embedded in the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind runs 95% of the show. Have you ever wondered how a lot of talented writers who've always wanted to write books were not able to write their own books? Whereas there are people who are not writers but they were able to write their books. The only difference is belief. Because even if you have the talent but you don't believe you can do it, your talent is just 5%. There's 95% in you, in your subconscious mind that is telling you you cannot do it. So this is the reason why the 90-day book writing challenge works. It's because at the onset, I know and I believe that each and every student who will follow the formula will be able to write their books. It's not a matter of, can I write a book? Yes, you can. Just follow the formula. And belief is so important. When I was so introverted and shy, I couldn't even speak in front of an audience. One person believed in me. Again, his name is Bo Sanchez. And he would tell me, Sha, can I invite you to speak in my event? He saw something in me that I didn't see in myself then. He believed in me. And he kept inviting me. And I kept saying yes. And those yeses led me to more stages, not just in the Philippines, but also in the different parts of the country. You just need one person to believe in you and choose to listen to that one person. Sometimes, you will tell your friends, oh, I'm writing a book, and your friends will tell you, oh, can you really do it? You had an F in English or in communication. And people, everyone will tell you, you cannot write a book. Now ask yourself, will I listen to them? What is their credibility in telling me that I cannot do what I wanted to do? Have they written books? Listen to someone who've actually written books and who can actually tell you, yes, you can do it. If you need someone to believe in you, I can be that person. And belief applies not just to writing books, not just to speaking, but to every area of our life. For example, who among you here wants to paint or are good at painting? All right. I was not a painter. I tried to paint when I was in elementary, and I couldn't even figure out what I painted or what I drew. Even a small flower, I couldn't even draw it. So I was not a painter. And one day, I went to visit my friend Boots, and I saw his collection of paintings. And I told her, Boots, we've been friends for so many years. I didn't know that you're a painter. And then he said, no, Sha, I'm not a painter, but I have a really good teacher who taught me how to paint. And then I told her, can I tag along with you in one of your classes? So I went with her in one of her classes. And the teacher said, at the beginning of the class, the teacher said, at the end of 2 hours, you'd be able to paint a masterpiece. And I said, oh, even if I'm not a painter, yes, as long as you can see colors, you can paint something beautiful. And so he would tell us, just do this, okay, just do that, just do this, just do that. I just followed his instructions. I gave him a chance to speak faith into me because I didn't believe I could paint. And after 2 hours, this was my first ever painting. Yes, you can clap louder if you want, that's okay. So this is my first ever painting, and I painted some more, and one more. Today, I've painted 3. And maybe in the future, I can do a painting exhibit. I'm telling this to you because I just want to impress upon you that whatever you believe you can, just like what Nat said, whatever you believe you can, you can. If you believe you can, you can. This was the person who believed in me, who believed that I can sing. His name is Jerome. And I remember, I actually gave up on my dream to sing. And I just wanted to hire a coach for a speaking voice. So I met Jerome in a coffee shop, and there were a lot of people in the coffee shop, and he told me, Sha, sing. And I said, here, right here, in front of so many people? And he said, yes. Okay. And then because I was afraid of him at that time, I sang in front of him. And he said, Sha, you have a beautiful voice. And every time I doubt myself, I would call Jerome and ask him, Jerome, can I really sing? Because I remember, I come from a family of singers and gifted musicians. When I told my cousin, I told him, hey, we have an event in November and I'm going to sing. I said, oh my God. When I told my papa, I was calling my papa the other day, and I told him, Sha, how is your event? How is your event? He said, and I told him, Pa, I'm going to sing. And then there was uncomfortable silence. Normally, my papa would tease me because he's been teasing me my entire life about my singing, and also my brother. That's their way of loving me, teasing me. But I already told my papa before that, Pa, if you're going to tease me about something I cannot do, just don't say it. So the awkward silence was my papa's best way not to tease me. But he said, I'll pray for you, Sha. So this is Jerome, and he's now based in Katarman, Samar. So I went to Samar two months ago, and we sang in front of the ocean. And he said, Sha, the ocean represents the obstacles and challenges in life. And he said, when people tell you that you cannot sing, you don't have to listen to them. Listen to someone who is actually a singer, and someone who can actually hear someone who can sing. So now for me, it doesn't matter what other people will say about my singing voice. Because now I chose to believe in one person, and I'll keep believing in him until eventually, the belief, I don't need to call him up whenever I doubt myself that I can sing. And this is something that I'd also like to encourage each and every one of you. Don't let anyone tell you that you cannot do something that you want to do. Whether it's writing a book, whether it's whatever, writing a book, speaking in front of people, whatever it is, if you believe in it, if you believe in that you can, then you can. Whenever I doubt myself, and whenever I lose inspiration, or whenever I need inspiration, I go back to my reason for doing things. I write because I care, and I have a message to share. You are here because maybe there's a voice inside of you that told you, write a book, you can write a book. There is a message that you need to share. And that's why you are here, and I honor you for being here. Your book is so powerful. It can move mountains. It can change lives. As a result of me writing books, I've received so many comments from people telling me, Sha, your books blessed me, your books inspired me. But there's one email that I received that I will forever treasure. It's from a woman who was broke. He was fired from her job. Her boyfriend left her. She had nothing to look forward to. And she actually wanted to kill herself. She actually planned to commit suicide. And then she read the book, Money and Me, and she said, your book gave me hope. Your book inspired me to live again. And for me, that is more than what money could buy. That is worth more than whatever I can earn as a result of writing books. One soul was saved. What keeps you? Thank you. Okay, I need some more claps. Thank you very much. What is keeping you from writing your book right now? Is it your own limiting belief? Is it someone telling you that you cannot do it? Don't delay, because what if your book can save someone's life? What if a delay writing your book could cause a life of someone else? So write a book now. And we are here to help you. The entire community, the Wright University community, the speakers who are here, the graduates of the 90-Day Book Writing Challenge are here to support you. If you need someone to believe in you, let me be that person. Let me coach you through the 90-Day Book Writing Challenge. And there is this song that I like to sing to myself over and over again whenever I need some inspiration or whenever I need to believe in myself again. And I'd like to invite you to sing with me. Singers or non-singers, you are welcome to sing. Please, can I invite everyone to please stand up? So the lyrics will be flashed on screen. Also organize an event and sing in your event. I'd like to leave you with one message. If you believe you can write a book, then you can write a book. Because again, if you can write a sentence, then you can write a book. Can I see a raise of hands here? Who among you here can write a sentence? Then all of you can write a book. This is Sha Nacino, and God bless everyone.